How is everybody out there doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing WWE Top 10 Rivals, Episode 5. And in today's episode, we're going to be focusing on the Viper, Randy Orton. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and smash that subscribe button. And make sure you smash that subscribe button, because when I get to 500 subscribers, I've got my first giveaway for all of y'all. So let's get to 500 subscribers so one of y'all lucky people can be blessed. Other than that, let's get to it. Number 10, Jeff Hardy. Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy have gone at it for years, and a lot of it was between 2007 and 2009. They went one-on-one at Armageddon in 2007, and then they feuded over the WWE Championship in 2008 and 2009. The Charismatic Enigma and the Apex Predator tore the house down every time they got in the ring together. Even 10 years after their rivalry, they went one-on-one at Hell in a Cell in 2018, where Randy Orton just targeted Jeff Hardy. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing these two clash again somewhere down the road, because they both still are in their prime of their career. Maybe not their prime, but they've still got enough left in the tank to go one-on-one against each other. So, Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, yeah, it's on this list. Number 9, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton went one-on-one in 2003 regarding the Intercontinental Championship. More on that reign later on. But whether they went one-on-one or it was rated RKO and their feud with D-Generation X, Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels seemed to be in each other's crosshairs quite often between 2003 and 2007. And Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels are two of the greatest performers to ever lace up a pair of boots. And to see them go one-on-one would be good enough to main event a WrestleMania. So, yeah, Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels tore the house down every single time they got in the ring together. We expected nothing less. And Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels was just a match made in heaven. They had so much charisma and so much chemistry inside the ring that at times it was unmatchable with what WWE was putting on the roster at the time. Number 8, Rob Van Dam. Randy Orton and Rob Van Dam was 2003. Was I a little stoned when I made this video? Probably. But Rob Van Dam and Randy Orton was great. Rob Van Dam was in his prime in 2003, and Randy Orton was fresh on the scene in WWE, coming from OVW the year before, and Randy Orton won his very first championship, which was the Intercontinental Championship, when he defeated Rob Van Dam at Armageddon in 2003. And it was on since then, on and off. Randy Orton and Rob Van Dam were in a feud all the way until 2006. And honestly, the high-flying ability of Rob Van Dam versus the powerhouse, the strike out of nowhere, get bit like a viper type wrestler in Randy Orton gelled well together. So, yeah, Rob Van Dam is number 8. Number 7, Edge. Yeah, the shocker here. A lot of people think Edge should be higher on this list, and we gotta remember, this is my top 10 favorite Randy Orton rivalries. This isn't the top 10 greatest Randy Orton rivalries. Edge would definitely be in the top 5 if we was talking about that. But Randy Orton and Edge was great. It got the job done for the better half of 20 years. In 2004, they fought at Vengeance Day over the Intercontinental Championship. They later became rated RKO and feuded with Degeneration X, as we talked about earlier. And even recently, they had what was coined the greatest wrestling match of all time at 2020's edition of Backlash. So, Randy Orton and Edge definitely brought the best out of each other when it came to professional wrestling. And it was a great rivalry, to say the least. And honestly, Randy Orton and Edge probably should be a lot higher on people's lists, but this is where it sits for me. Number 7. Number 6, Kofi Kingston. This rivalry started in 2009 when Kofi Kingston came fresh on the scene. And he was thrown into a feud with Randy Orton. One mistake by Kofi Kingston made Randy Orton yell "stupid, stupid, stupid" during a match. And after that particular match, Kofi Kingston was knocked out of the main event scene, and he remained in the middle of the card for the next 10 years before WrestleMania 35. And at WrestleMania 35, Kofi Kingston proved that he deserves to be World Heavyweight Champion. And during that title reign, Randy Orton came back, and 10 years later, we got shades of 2009 all over again, reminding the WWE Universe of that match. And this rivalry was great. I loved what they did with this rivalry. I don't like how Kofi Kingston got sent down to the middle of the card for so long, but when it comes to this storyline, it made sense for it. So, yeah, Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston's rivalry was one of the better rivalries Randy Orton ever had. Number 5, the Animal, Batista. Randy Orton and Batista for a long time was part of Evolution until Evolution turned on Randy Orton after Randy Orton won the World Heavyweight Championship. His first World Heavyweight Championship, and at the time, he was the youngest WWE superstar to win the World Heavyweight Championship. And their rivalry was great. Randy Orton and Batista, they didn't have a lot of matches together, but the triple threat match at WrestleMania 30, when Daniel Bryan was taken out of the equation after being put through the announce table by Randy Orton and Batista, we got to see what Randy Orton and Batista could do one-on-one. And honestly, this rivalry would probably be higher on this list if they had more matches, more storyline, more time to feud with each other. Because if we got 3, 4, 5, 6 matches out of these two, they would have been great. No denying that. But it's only number 5 on this list because of the lack of storyline and the lack of matches that they had between the two. And that just speaks volumes to the rivalry they did have, because the rivalry they did have was great. Number 4, Triple H. Triple H and Randy Orton's rivalry started at the exact same time that Randy Orton and Batista's rivalry started, in the exact same way, because Evolution turned on Randy Orton. And honestly, the peak of this rivalry came a few years later in 2009 when Legacy was feuding badly with the McMahon family. What Randy Orton did to Stephanie McMahon as Triple H was handcuffed to the ropes, us nerds remember that night. Not to mention the episode where Triple H came to Randy Orton's house and home invaded Randy Orton. Like, these two have gone as deep into the deep of waters as you could go into when it comes to a rivalry. When it was 2009, if it wasn't Randy Orton and Triple H on your TV, people probably weren't watching. But when Randy Orton and Triple H were on your TV, oh man, were their eyes glued to the television screen, because Randy Orton and Triple H just tore each other apart in this rivalry, and that is what made it so wonderful. Number 3, The Undertaker. In 2005, Randy Orton versus The Undertaker was what WWE was all about. Randy Orton was the bad guy heel that ran away and got back up from his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton. And whether it was the Hell in a Cell match where The Undertaker, Randy Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton, and the referee involved all were bleeding from the skull at one point in this match, or it was Randy Orton putting The Undertaker in a casket, nailing it shut, and setting it on fire, which forced The Undertaker to disappear off the scene for a little while. And when he came back, climbing out of that very casket that was on fire. Like, this rivalry was gold. Like, The Undertaker and Randy Orton, like, and don't even get me started on the night where Randy Orton was staring in the mirror and The Undertaker was in the mirror behind him, and when he turned around, nobody was there. The mind games in this rivalry were next level at the time, and honestly, it had me scared to my bones watching when I was 15, 16 years old and seeing the mind games that The Undertaker and Randy Orton went to week in and week out. Like, yeah, this rivalry was the best rivalry in WWE at its time. Number 2, Bray Wyatt. Another case of this is top 10 favorite rivals, not top 10 greatest rivals. Not that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt didn't have a great rivalry, but we all know how I feel about Bray Wyatt. There's no denying that. And whether it was the House of Horrors match that they had, or Randy Orton taking the title off of Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 33 after he captured it at Elimination Chamber 2017 about 6 to 8 weeks beforehand, and that wasn't even the first time they went one-on-one at WrestleMania either. Like, at WrestleMania 37, Randy Orton went one-on-one with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. So they've gone one-on-one at multiple WrestleManias, just to say the least. And Randy Orton was a member of the Wyatt family at one point for a few weeks before he deceived the family, just like Daniel Bryan did a few years ago. Like, Randy Orton was the target of so many Wyatt family attacks that it became a weekly occurrence in WWE. So, yeah, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, they tore each other apart their entire rivalry. Number 1, John Cena. Who else did we really expect? Randy Orton and John Cena's rivalry is as old as time. Whether it was their first encounter at a WWE pay-per-view at SummerSlam of 2006, they had an Iron Man match at Bragging Rights in 2009, and they feuded over the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in 2014. So Randy Orton and John Cena was just the 2010 early 2010s version of Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, because it was on almost every single pay-per-view. We saw the match happen 100 times, what it felt like, and it was one of those matches that when they were done feuding at the time, we said, I hope we don't see that again. But looking at the fact that we haven't seen that match in 10 years, I don't know, I'd like to see it one more time now that it's played its course, and it would be a fresh thing for WWE to do. But at the end of the day, John Cena and Randy Orton was one of the greatest rivalries of all time, and it was John Cena, in my opinion, is Randy Orton's greatest rival. And that was WWE Top 10 Rivals, Episode 5, focusing on the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. I hope all of y'all gorgeous people continue to have a wonderful day. I'm Nikki D. This is the Nikki D channel, and I will see all of y'all amazing viewers and subscribers next time. Bye, y'all.